Kyo no whiskey wa hibiki desu!
And for us normal people, that means today's whiskey is the Hibiki Japanese Harmony. Let me tell you about it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the Whiskey Nerd.
I'm Rose and I'm the Whiskey Noob.
And like we said, this is the Hibiki Harmony Master Select from Suntory. So let me get it into the glass and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Or actually, Rose might, as she just demonstrated, she does speak Japanese. So what does Hibiki mean?
Hibiki, well, you can kind of guess Hibiki probably connects to harmony because harmony is on there, but if you dig down into it, Hibiki actually means resonance, so that's a lot more like connection between like body and seasons and stuff. It's just a bit more of a deeper meaning because harmony is heiwa, but hey, it's got basically the same meaning for us today. Yeah. So there's a lot of connections there between like the whiskey and like nature.
And does that have anything to do with the bottle itself?
It sure does. Like, we all think we've got, what, 4 seasons? Some countries, Ireland, have basically 1, maybe 2 seasons.
Just rain and more rain.
Yes, exactly. But traditionally in Japan, way back when, they had 24 seasons in a year. Can you imagine? How do you keep up? Every 2 weeks, basically, right? Yeah. Different season. So it's got 24 cut-ins.
Yeah, so if you can see that on the bottle, there's actually 24 of these little cut-ins around it to kind of represent those old kind of, I guess, seasons.
Yeah.
Because they, in Suntory, they're aiming for this whiskey to be not blow you out of the water, not to be super strong, just be something that's kind of nice and enjoyable. You can enjoy it at any time in the 24 seasons. It's supposed to be, I think they said, elegant and subtle.
Yeah. So you get a harmony or resonance between you, the whiskey, the 24 seasons, 1 season, it all connects.
Yeah, and it has actually quite a good blend of whiskey. They actually meant this whiskey to be a kind of a showcase or a showpiece of how they can blend really different whiskeys together and have it still be harmonious, because it's a blend of 10 different whiskeys from 3 different distilleries that were all aged in 5 different casks. So you had virgin American oak, I think you had bourbon casks, there were sherry casks, Japanese Mizunara oak casks, which are all going to give you different flavors. They haven't exactly shared the components of the whiskey and what casks were used, but we can kind of guess what they were.
Yeah.
The 3 distilleries in question would have been the Cheetah Distillery, which focuses on grain, the Yamazaki Distillery, which focuses on single malt, and the Hakushu Distillery, which actually focuses on very lightly peated malt whiskey, but it's Japanese peated whiskey, so it's like a sweet peat. It's not going to be like really strong, really heavy. It's actually might be a peated whiskey you might like.
It might be entry-level peat.
Yeah, and if you are familiar with the channel, I have reviewed this before, but Rose back then was behind the camera, so we figured we're going to get your thoughts on it today, kind of what you think of this whiskey, kind of as a person who's focused on Irish whiskey up to now, but maybe looking at some of those older whiskeys. If maybe you want to see Rose's opinion on the Hakushu peated Japanese whiskey, let us know down below, and we might see if she can find a peated whiskey she likes.
Ooh, exciting! But for now, nomimashou ka?
Well, one more moment. She just asked, will we drink? This is not the Hibiki Harmony standard one. There is a slight difference between this one. This is the travel retail version of it.
Okay.
So you can get it at duty free at airports. There are travel retail versions of a lot of different whiskies, and this one is one of those. It's slightly different, they say, to the standard Hibiki Harmony, but they don't say how it's different.
Should try them all.
We should try them all. We might try it against each other, yeah.
Yeah.
Next time we go to Japan, might get a couple of Japanese whiskies, which
yes,
we'll
please.
definitely be reviewing on the channel. If you are at airports, I'll put a picture of it up there. There's a very, very, very fancy looking version of this bottle, but as far as I'm aware, the whiskey in it is exactly the same. It just costs like 2 or 3 times the price for that collector's edition bottle. But for now, let's focus on what's in the bottle.
Okay.
Let's focus on what's in the glass.
Nomimashou! Kanpai!
Kanpai, kanpai.
I'm getting, first of all, it's light.
It's very light.
It's fruity.
It's fruity.
And that's what I've got so far.
Yeah, it's quite like almost like a floral. Like if you think of like an apple blossom or like a pear, like actually kind of like a pear drop as well. There's a lot of light floral notes in here. Like it's not lacking in flavor. When I say it's light, it's not like it's very you know, bland or without flavor.
Oh,
it's just
no.
lots of flavors, but quite light.
Yeah.
And quite just kind of, like they say, I guess, subtle in flavor.
Imagine like the apple blossom trees, like the petals are slowly flowing down around me as I hold this whiskey in my hand.
As I sit with it, I'm definitely getting more of the grain presence of the grain whiskey. So of the component blends, there might be a lot of the kind of grain whiskey in there. With that, I'm not really getting...
I gotta really dig for the grain for me personally. I'm just enamored by the apple blossoms.
It's quite fruity, but I'm not really getting a huge amount of smoke. Like I said, there would be some whiskey from the Hakushu, and the Hakushu is quite lightly peated. I did see that little almost spill. The Hakushu is quite lightly peated, so it might be a small amount of small peat. It might be on the palate, but on the nose, just really light.
Yeah, I like it. Kind of reminds me of like a banana, but like a real banana, not banana candy.
Oh, I could see, yeah,
like the real banana's lighter.
Banana, that kind of like we have that. What do you call it? Like the skin of the banana. What is that kind of?
The peel.
The peel. That's the word. Yeah.
And I get a little oak at the end now.
Yeah, there's a little bit of kind of oaky presence in there.
Oh, but it smells so nice.
It does smell really nice, but I think it's time we go in for the palate. Cheers.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
My goodness.
Her goodness.
My goodness.
Her goodness.
It is bold.
It's bolder. Well, I guess, especially compared to the nose.
Which is so light and
fruity. The nose
fruity.
was so light. It does come in at 43% alcohol. So it's not the strongest, but there's just a lot of flavor, I think, in the palate. That more than you'd probably expect from the nose.
I still get like the sweetness, but it's different kind of sweetness. Like I feel like there's still a fruity vibe to it, but there's like vanilla in there.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of vanilla. Again, more of that kind of a little bit of oaky spice coming through.
Yeah.
I did get a little hint of peat, so I'm going to go in again for a second sip, see if I can find that hint of peat and see if I can find anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, like the mouthfeel, it feels like not fully like honey, like a really like thick, but like if you think of like, I guess slight, like it's kind of honeyed. It's a little bit like sticky and it does spread out. Yeah. And I am getting that little bit of peat, like not a huge amount, just like more of a little waft of peat smoke in the back. Rather than smoke, more like the peat flavor.
Oh.
So it's not like a smoky whiskey, but still got that kind of earthy note from the peat, at least for me.
Well, I'd say if there's peat in here, which it probably is, it blends in super well because I usually notice peat right off the bat, but whatever they did, it works out nicely if I'm not noticing it right off the bat, so I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I feel like I get a wee bit of apple.
I could see that, yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of apple, but...
Like a yellow apple. Not like a sharp green apple. Not like a kind of a rich red apple. More like that kind of light yellow apple.
Yeah.
Where it's not super strong. It's not really like up front, but there is a bit of fruitiness in there.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. There's still like caramel in there. There's still sweetness in there. It's definitely much bolder on the palate. But I can already tell from the finish, it does fade off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to go in for a finish.
Okay.
See what lingers, if anything lingers.
Kanpai.
Kanpai. Yeah. So on the finish, I'm getting maybe a little bit of the oak is what's lingering the longest, like, and a little bit of that fruitiness as well, like that apple. Like, but the sweetness, the butterscotch, the toffee, the vanilla, all that kind of fades off, just leaving you with like a moment. Like for me, I do find a lot of Japanese whiskeys have a finish. Like it falls off pretty quickly. It doesn't say it's bad, it just kind of ends. And I think this whiskey kind of is like it's got a moment. On the nose, it's quite light. It's quite easy to kind of get there. Not really a huge amount going on, but there is a nice bit of flavor. On the palate, it's there.
Yeah.
On the finish, fades off. So it's like it has a moment. Like you enjoy it, maybe you enjoy one of those 24 moments of the year.
Yeah.
And then you're ready to go in again.
Or maybe you have 24 moments that you enjoy throughout your experience with the whiskey.
Maybe. I couldn't think of 24 moments. I could think of a few, but I wouldn't be able to think of
Maybe if we drink more, we can find 24 moments.
I think if we drink more whiskey, we'll definitely find a few more moments.
I think for me, that nice light floral bit kind of stays at the end. Like I feel like I got a bit of the oakiness, but it's like, it didn't just disappear in the finish. It kind of just faded, like how cherry blossoms eventually fade and they fall off the tree.
If I was good enough at editing, I'd put cherry blossoms over you. But imagine there's cherry blossoms falling over her head right now. But yeah, it's a nice whiskey.
I would buy this.
Yes, it is kind of expensive. It is getting a little bit cheaper now.
Okay.
Japanese whiskey had a huge surge in price, but now the kind of supply is catching up to demand. So I've seen prices kind of level off. In some cases, get a little bit cheaper at airports as well, where this is. So it's getting a bit cheaper now.
Okay.
Hopefully it does get back to normal prices from a few years ago. But it is, like, it would be very easy to call this like a simple whiskey. You know, because you can go into it, you can drink it, you can enjoy it. But I think it's one of those things, if you do sit with it, you do enjoy it, you do get that.
You find one of your 24 moments.
You find one of those 24 moments. You get into that short-ish, really bold moment in the palate, and you can kind of go into it and you kind of explore it a bit more. You
gotta have your hibiki, your resonance.
Your resonance.
Your harmony.
You gotta let it resonate with you.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably enough.
Yes.
Talking about it, I think we're definitely gonna
enough talking about it, but more drinking it.
Enjoy it. We put out whiskey reviews on Wednesdays. We put out cocktail recipes on Fridays. So if you want to see more like that, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and
tell us you want more Japanese whiskey, because I really like this.
Tell us you want more Japanese whiskeys, like maybe that Hakushu peated Japanese whiskey. See if she likes it. But I think I'm just gonna keep on enjoying this.
Yes.
I will see you next time. Sláinte.
Goodbye.